Let's go live. Hey, let's go live. Let's go live. Yeah. Come on in, guys. Come on in. This is our weekly recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Literally just rewatched it so that I could have it fresh in my mind. We watched it together last night, but I'm sidetracked. I'm trying to make the thumbnail and I'm taking notes and then I'm interacting with you guys on TikTok. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok right now as well. So I have to watch it, and there are things that I pick up that I may have missed in the first watch. So I told you guys to rate it. If you're watching on YouTube, I've asked you guys to rate this episode. And based on what I'm seeing, okay, it's gotten better because earlier it wasn't looking great. It wasn't looking great. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to share the video. That helps boost the algorithm. That helps boost our video and our content. If you missed it, I did post another video. Part of the reason why I had to delay this recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, because this morning I woke up to a lot of information, a lot of speculation, a lot of sources to talk about the Juan Dixon situation at Coppin State. So please go check out. I've pinned it in the YouTube live chat. Please go check out that video after the live, or set it to watch later for yourself, because I unpack multiple reasons why he may have been let go. And honestly, I don't think the lawsuit was the only reason. There are multiple things that could have played a part in that whole situation. So if you've been under a rock and you missed the news that broke last night, we did have breaking news last night, and we posted a video last night before I ate. Can you believe that? See how much I love you guys? I was on IG Live, and I put to the side, I said, you know what? Dinner's done, IG. I just see this story broke. I gotta go. And that food was good eventually when I ate it. I put it to the side. I recorded a new video as I was collecting information and texting with sources. And then I was just like, oh, damn. And then eventually I got to eat. Don't feel sorry for me. Woo, 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 Kempire. Woo, woo, woo. Woo, 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 Kempire. Well, I went to Pilates this morning. Okay, all right. This morning, and I'm getting information, or you would have gotten that video a lot earlier, but that's part of the reason why I had to push back the Real Housewives of New Jersey recap, because I wanted to rewatch it, honestly, and I'm glad that I did. And of course, I wanted to make sure I give you guys a good show. So that we can get this algorithm going, I'm going to hit the countdown, but you hit the like and share the video so we can get more Real Housewives of New Jersey fans in the live chat. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook, those of you watching on Twitch and Twitter, and those of you watching behind the scenes on TikTok. We appreciate you guys. And don't forget, tomorrow we will be doing a recap of the latest episode of Vanderpump Rules as well. But first, let's get into the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow me, lead it. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Hey, y'all. Come on in. All right. So some of you are on the fence. Some of you are on the fence about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. How are you feeling about the season? How are you feeling about the season so far? This is only episode 6, but I feel like there's nothing new happening. I'm still enjoying the newbies. I feel like the newbies are doing what they need to do, including Jen Fessler. I really do like Jen Fessler. I still do. And I love the fact that this week she held her friend accountable. We'll get to that. Honestly, Jackie, Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh. Even as a friend of, she's not necessarily even bringing that, right? Jackie is not bringing it as a friend of. So maybe this is really showing that she didn't bring it as a housewife. But I think we all kind of were on the fence with Jackie when it comes to that. But the new friend ofs, I'm enjoying them. And maybe because they're fun, I like that they get along together. They're not picking necessarily sides, even though we know that they're kind of on two different sides of the situation, but they haven't allowed that to affect their growing friendship. Okay, and maybe because they start on the same season, they don't have that little competition like with Jackie. Anyone notice though when Jackie came into the baseball game, she was hugging and kissing Danielle? I thought, oh, that's real fake. I was like, that's real fake, but okay. I was like, all right, because next week they will be back hating each other. All right, maybe because it was a charity event. But I don't know how I'm feeling about New Jersey. I didn't hate the episode, and I'm not hating the season, but I am getting a little tired of the same situation that we're talking about, and that is the Gorgas versus Teresa and her new husband. So speaking of Teresa, at the top of this episode, Teresa is in therapy. Which, come on. I like that we started the episode with therapy. We ended the episode with therapy. I like that. Okay, how did we feel about this therapist? So some things that stood out to me with this therapist. First off, Teresa says that she only went to therapy, was at the, coaxing of Louis. And she says it was because of the way that she reacted to Marge, even though in the same breath, she says, though I thought it was valid. So you felt like your reaction was valid, but I'm going to go to therapy because I don't really like my reaction. All right. Did she really learn anything? Is this just for a storyline? Is this just to please Louis? Okay. I wonder how does this therapist know? Like, how did she find this therapist? That's what I would want to know. Is this from a recommendation from Louis's mother, who's a therapist? Is this a recommendation from Louis? Is she the same therapist for Louis? I don't know any of that. I'm just asking because I didn't know. I felt like the therapist wasn't therapizing in a way that I felt like it was impartial. If she felt a little, when she said when she mentioned, Teresa mentioned Louis, and she was like, oh yeah, he's a very compassionate man. Look, okay, maybe based off of what Teresa has described of him. All right. But I have to say, it stood out in my mind. And I always tell you guys, there are certain things I say in my head. Oh, well, I rationalize it. But I said, no. I'm not going to rationalize it. I'm going to share my thoughts in this recap and review. This is what I'm thinking. So I was like, let me bring it to you guys. As soon as I heard it last night, I said to myself, why is she calling him compassionate like she knows him? But maybe she feels like she knows him from the way that Teresa has described him. But I just said to myself, well... Look, well, but I said I'll bring it to you guys, and I'm not going to end there because there's more. Teresa goes through her family history, and now I'm thinking to myself, is there another family fight? Because didn't Teresa's father have issues with his sister? But now Teresa says that her father had issues with their cousin over $200. And I know what you're thinking, over $200. I need everyone to put themselves in the situation. You may not directly have that issue with a family member, but there have been family members that don't talk to each other, and they haven't talked to each other over the pettiest of things. So I really tried not to judge, like, really? You guys thought your family stopped talking over $200? But I always say to myself, yeah, kind of look at some of the petty stuff that you see online where family members are going back and forth or within your own family. See, Virginia says, yes, I thought it was a sister. Maybe there was more family issues, but she said the cousin. So I was just like, oh, all right. Yeah, I don't believe this is Teresa's first time with this therapist. But I just, it stood out to me when she said, oh, he's a very compassionate man. I just like, wait a minute. I was like, okay. It stood out to me. So I said, let me share it with you. Jacob says, yep, her father had problems with Kathy's mom, who is his sister. Yeah, but Teresa said the cousin. So that's why I was a little confused. So I said to myself, maybe the father had issues with the cousin too, over $200. But did he have problems with his sister over $200? Okay, very possible. All right. Exactly. Mom says when Kathy was on, they talked about Tree's dad didn't talk to her mom, his sister. Yeah. So that's why I was a little confused when she said the cousin. All right. Exactly. And it was Teresa's aunt. But I don't know. Look, Teresa's the one who confused us. All of us are on the same page that we thought it was Teresa's aunt, aka Teresa's father's sister. Apparently not. Oh, damn. GA, is that what? GA says Teresa's forgetting her cousin's mom is an aunt and not a cousin. That is what it is. We have sense. Look, we have sense, but Teresa is the problem.
Me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.
I always forget who we're talking about. Teresa probably forgot that. Oh, God. She probably forgot how that works in families. That is the answer. Thank you, GA. That is the real answer. Teresa completely forgot that your father's sister is your aunt, not your cousin. That makes more sense to me than anything else. Thank you, GA. You really saved the day because my mind was going all. I should know better. Teresa doesn't know things. Words mean things. She doesn't realize that. I completely got mixed up. I completely got mixed up. Woo! Thank you for okay, Danielle brings up a good point. She says, depending on when it was, $200 could have been a lot of money. That's true. Good point. And it could be a lot. And look, $200 is a lot of money to certain people. But like I said to you before, people have ended family situations over the smallest thing, even smaller than $200. Just saying. I kind of wish we had unpacked more of the father and sister situation. Why didn't the producers try to unpack that for us when her father was alive? That would have been interesting. Right? I feel like that would have been more interesting. I feel like we sort of glossed over that battle instead of really digging into the battle. Anyways, so Teresa in this conversation talked about the family history and the issues, and the therapist says, how did the boys' night go? And she said, it went terrible, and Joe didn't come to their housewarming, and she says, I'm scared of my brother. I'm scared of his temper. And a lot of you said, really, Teresa? Well, I mean, look, they both have hot tempers. And maybe she's in the space in her life where she doesn't want that level of anger around her. I can understand that. I can understand and I can relate to that. But then the therapist at the end of their therapy session says that she's recommending that maybe moving on. If you've tried this, I forgot what she had tried. She had tried this, and if that doesn't work, maybe it's time to move on. And then I have to say that didn't sit well with me either. And I'm the first one to tell you, do not force toxic family relationships if not necessary, if it isn't necessary. But then I thought to myself, I don't know how I feel about the therapist saying, after trying this one particular way, then maybe it's time to move on. Why not family therapy? Remember we were talking about that the other day, and that it would take more than just one session. So part of me feels as if I feel like the therapist, why didn't you recommend therapy? Unless that was edited out, but I'm like, why would you recommend maybe family therapy? Maybe bringing her brother in. And honestly, I think if she was to bring the brother in, Joe, it should be just Joe and Teresa, because I feel like that is the core, that is the foundation. And then bring in Melissa and maybe Louie. Maybe. You know what I mean? I don't know. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. Thank you so much, Obi, for the super chat. Hold on. Obi says, Melissa and her sidekick need to explain. Who's the sidekick? Joe? Melissa and her sidekick need to explain why Antonia was not at Melania's Sweet 16 and why they were low-key preventing Joey from interacting with Teresa and Gia. Reeks of deep-seated hate. I mean, everyone's perspective would be a little bit different on that, which we will unpack in just a second. Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. Sharon says, really like it. Really, it was Teresa's father's brother-in-law that owed him $200. Really, it was Teresa's father's brother-in-law. So Teresa's father's sister's husband that owed him $200. Okay, what does that change? Look, does that change the situation? I don't think it changes the situation. So it's still family owing each other money. But okay. All right. Let me just say thank you. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Crystal, thank you so much for the super chat. Crystal says they tried, but Rosie definitely snapped backstage at the last reunion when they tried to talk about it. Okay. But that wasn't therapy. Look, that wasn't therapy. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says, I should have used my free super chat to say thank you for always brightening up our days. I found you around 110,000 subscribers, and now it's over double. Thank you, Julie. We appreciate you supporting the channel. All right, so let me get through this. All right, so then we get these two scenes, one with Margaret and Jen Fessler, and then we get the other scene with Jennifer Aydin and Dr. Bill at home with their kids, which I honestly want to see more of Jennifer Aydin and her children. I feel like she's so much more likable, and I feel like her kids are so much more entertaining than these other scenes with, Bill who doesn't talk. You know what I mean? All right, so Margaret and Jen talk about what went down at Jen's house. First of all, Margaret had to have surgery from that fall from the top of the season. When she had that fall, she had to end up getting surgery. And so Jen Fessler comes to visit her. And the thing that I like about Jen Fessler, not only is she giving us funny moments. First of all, where was Jen Fessler at the baseball game? I saw her son was there, but I needed more of Jen Fessler. I feel like she would have been hilarious at this baseball game. We need more of that. BM says he'd be on mute, Dr. Bill. At first, I had to look at my thing. I was like, oh, am I on mute? No. All right. So one thing I love about Jen Fessler is that in this moment, she calls out Margaret for her behavior. Because for all of us, even if you were a Margaret fan, you were so turned off by her behavior at this lunch. And we were just like, and I like that Jen Fessler calls her out. And she's like, that was like 16-year-old behavior. There is no point in what you were saying or bringing up. It's not good for you. And of course, Margaret wants to deflect, very much like what Jennifer Aydin likes to do. And she's like, no, that's not my friend. You're my friend. So I'm going to talk to you about your behavior. Okay? All right. Okay. So they're talking about that. And of course, they're talking about this baseball game that's coming up. How do you guys feel about the baseball game? Now it's becoming like this yearly tradition. It's a part of what, that yearly thing that Dolores does. I don't know how I feel about the baseball game. And I know it's not because I don't necessarily like sports. I just don't think that baseball game is hitting the way they think it's hitting. Literally. You know what I mean? I don't know how I feel about the baseball game every year now. And granted, it's for charity. Wonderful. But I'm just sort of like, all right. Okay. Anyways. Mavis says, it was true. I appreciated Fessler in that moment. I like her this season. All the newbies to me are a breath of fresh new air. I really enjoyed that. Star says, I like it. All right. I like it. I don't. But everyone has a right to their opinion. I lost you, Elle. Where did you go? Elle says, Marge is a bitter hater. I'm not really loving Marge this season either. And do you really believe that Marge wields this power over the group? That she has all of their secrets? And this is why no one wants to go up against Marge? Remember from that situation from last season when Dolores and Jackie had that conversation? Oh, you don't want to go up against Margaret. Are people really scared of Margaret? Are they really scared of Margaret? I mean, I could understand why Melissa might be if the rumors are true about this affair. But I have to say, in this episode, I did enjoy that Melissa was sort of like making fun of the rumors in regards to the baseball player and about her 17 nose jobs. I was like, okay, I need more of that from you, Melissa. I like that. The self-deprecating humor. Yes, Anne. Anne watched my previous video. I had on a sports shirt, but I'm always changing. This is why I have so much damn laundry. I'm always changing. Like I'm going somewhere. Okay. All right. All right, there we go. All right, guys. Let me focus. Okay, so then Jennifer Aydin has her own conversation with Dr. Bill. Dr. Bill's outside having a Corona. I think it was a Corona. It was something. And he had gotten her coffee. The kids are cleaning up. Olivia's adorable still. So as soon as she comes out to Dr. Bill, first of all, they're talking about, the kids are off for the summer and things like that. So they're also talking about what happened at this luncheon at Jen Fessler's house. And she says, when we see Margaret, I need you not to be nice to her or so nice to her. That's where she lost me. In the very beginning, I was just like, oh my gosh, just allow your husband to be himself. All right. I mean, he doesn't have to hug and kiss up on Marge, but you already telling him the way he needs to be, that's never going to be a good way to start a conversation. I need you not to be so nice to her. Really? And then I think we forgot to talk about this last week. We briefly we brushed over it when when Margaret called her a drug addict. And we were like, what? For me, it's irresponsible because it's sort of like, I didn't think that she was, smoking the reefers. I thought it was something else. I was like, does she know something that we don't know? Well, she, according to Jennifer Aydin, no, it's the reefers. And she does that at night when the kids go to bed. I mean, a lot of people do. It's legal in New Jersey. So I'm not judging her. I'm judging Margaret for the statement and the judging. Look, the judging. I'm judging her for judging. Yeah. And Dr. Bill, did you guys pay attention to Dr. Bill's face? Not his body language, it's his face. I think he even during the therapy session at the end, all you see from he's just smiling when you really shouldn't be smiling during the conversations and when she's talking about her heartbreak. And you were just like, I'm just like, what is happening with Dr. Bill right now? All right. So we're going back and forth between these two scenes where Margaret and Jen are talking about Jennifer and Jennifer's talking about Margaret. All right. And then we get this other scene. First of all, I'm always so distracted by Paulie's home. Paulie lives, I guess that's a townhouse because I don't believe he has that entire space. I believe it's a townhouse, but it's like this really modern townhouse. Can we, BravoTV.com, can we get a tour of his house? I don't even care about Dolores' house. I want a tour of his house. I like his house. I'm more impressed by his house than him. These scenes between them, I get why some of you don't believe that it's a real relationship. I believe it is a real relationship, but I get why you might not. There's something off. Like I wonder if Dolores is just so enamored, the fact that he is so like, oh, you're my woman and this is that. And she's so enamored by that. And it's so different than Dr. David that she doesn't see that there might not be chemistry. I don't know if there's chemistry or not. I'm just not seeing it on screen, which sometimes you don't. All right. So I'm always, when we get to a scene at Paulie's house, I'm just sort of like, I'm looking around. I'm like, this is a really nice house for a single straight man. I was just like, okay, man, I see you. Or maybe the last girlfriend decorated. Oh, I'm kidding. Or maybe Dolores helped decorate. She has some really good decorating skills. You saw what she did with Dr. David's house. All right. Let me take a sip. So every time I see his scenes with him, I'm just like, I'm more interested in the house than I am in them talking about whatever they're talking about. But I have to say, Dolores' father saved this scene. Anyone else? If it was just a scene with Paulie and Dolores, I probably would have been like, honestly. But her dad, who's funny, says it like it is, comes in and he brings his own bottle of soda. He likes Paulie, apparently. And of course, this conversation leads to them they go for a walk and, they're talking about, how do you feel about Paulie? The father likes Paulie. Paulie's very different than Frank. And now this is apparently Dolores's storyline this season, is her issues and outgrowing Frank. But I believe that's real. And I do believe that the issues between Frank and Paulie might be real. Because we find out in this scene that, according to Dolores, like their family dynamic didn't change once they got a divorce. The only thing that changed is that they stopped sleeping with each other. So in Frank's mind, even before he was on this show, even before Dolores was on the show, had remained the same. And look, Dr. David was okay with it because Dr. David was never around and probably no other guy was around. Well, now Paulie's coming in and he's like, this is weird to me. This is not going to work for me. And Dolores is at the point in her life, her kids are grown, and she's like, yeah, I mean, boo, whatever you say. This hasn't worked for me, but I allowed it to happen. I allowed it to happen. And now Frank is all like thrown off. You're going to have to get it together, Frank. You're going to have to get it together. Let me see. Sharon says, poor Frank. You know what? Nicole says the issue is that Frank has lost control of Dolores. Yeah, in a sense, because everything was Frank's way and Dolores just catered to that. And she allowed him to cross these boundaries in her life, even though they're not together. And I like Frank. And I think Frank is far more entertaining than Paulie. But in real life and what they're really dealing with, I get why she's starting to put boundaries up. She's needed to put boundaries up 20 years ago. Hold on. Iman says, I also think that Frank buddied up with David to keep the dynamic the same with Dolores. That's very manipulative, don't you think? Nicole says Frank needs to get over it. He cheated throughout their marriage, and now he's whining that he misses his friend. Laughable. My thing is, I get it. He has every right to share his feelings, but he has to respect her boundaries. He has to respect her boundaries. She's in a new relationship, and I'm sure now he's probably resentful towards Paulie. But why does Paulie keep not showing up to these group events? Okay, I understand he's going to have heart surgery. They talk about the heart surgery in this first scene with Dolores and Paulie and the dad. And dad's like, we'll be there for you, anything that you need from us. I thought that was sweet. But I just found it convenient. And then when I watched it again, Paulie's surgery was the next day. And I get it. There's surgery prep and things like that. But you couldn't just come and show face. Look, you couldn't just come and show face. You don't have to play the game. You probably couldn't play the game anyway with a heart situation going on. But I just thought that was convenient. I thought it was convenient in my personal opinion. All right, we're going to move on. So we get Rachel, Melissa, and who else went? Rachel, Melissa. Did Jackie go? Damn, Jackie, I can't remember if you were there. Was Jackie at the batting cages with them? Look, I don't remember. I don't remember if Evan was there. I think they were. Look. Y'all remember? Phoenix in my TikTok chat says, I don't remember either. Was Jackie there? This one, for those that don't even know who Jackie is, let me pull up her picture. Remember Jackie? Was she at the batting cages? No? Okay, damn. So who was there? There was Melissa. Oh, Frank was there. Okay, I knew there was another person there. Okay, damn. Damn, I'm sorry. I couldn't remember. Oh, it was Frank's girlfriend that was there. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. I really was like, was Jackie really there? Look, now I need to go back because some of you are saying different things. Wait, Ryan says Evan was there, but I didn't notice Jack. Come on, someone needs to go back to the episode right now and come back to me with this information. Was Jackie there? Because some of you are saying that she wasn't, and I think you might have missed her. I think you might have missed her. But I do know Frank was there. And I really do like when these guys get together. Even the new guys. I really do like when they get together. So in this conversation at the batting cages, so they cover a few different dynamics. Frank and Dolores' dynamic and how he misses being around Dolores. And he misses Dolores. And he feels like Paulie's affecting the family dynamic. We're not going to rehash that. We just talked extensively about that. She was there. No. I think you guys are mixing it up. I'm not talking about the baseball game. I'm talking about when they went batting, when they went to the batting cages before the baseball game. Thank you, Jessica. Jackie was at the baseball game, not at the batting cages. Y'all are bad. Y'all are bad. Why wasn't Jackie there? Melissa, Rachel, why didn't you guys invite Jackie to the batting cages? Gigi says, Jackie, were you there? Okay, she wasn't there. Okay, but she was at the baseball game. I do remember that. I just couldn't remember if she was at this other game. But no, that was Frank and his new girlfriend. Well, she's not that new of a girlfriend, but yeah. Anyways, I'm glad we figured that out. Yes, guys, I'm glad we figured that out because I was very confused for a second. All right. But no, at the batting cages. So they talk about that. And then Melissa brings up Jen talking about Marge, saying that, remember she kept on bringing up, first she brought up her 17 nose jobs, that's been a rumor on the streets. And then she brings up, that Marge says that she should be with a baseball player. So she makes jokes about that. And then they start talking about what Teresa said at Danielle's daughter's birthday party. And it seemed as if, and Melissa's like, I knew it. Teresa didn't want to really make friends with Marge. She didn't really want to make friends with her. But we all knew that too, right? We already knew that. Teresa didn't want to make peace with Marge. So Melissa believes that the only reason why Teresa wanted to make peace with Marge was because of the manipulation of Louis. I didn't expect that part. I didn't expect that. I thought she would have just put this on Teresa. No, Melissa's putting this on Louis, saying that Louis is manipulative and he's the one who told Teresa, no, you should be friends with Marge because then she'll lay off of you and she won't dig up more information on me. And I never thought about it. And I was like, oh, I didn't expect that from the Phoenix Arisen says on my TikTok. Melissa's not wrong though. I didn't think about it until she pointed it out. I was like, well, if Marge is this master manipulator that they're all speculating about, then that would make sense. Justin says it's Bengali. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. The franchise girl says tea spill. Okay, we could say it's tea spill. Louis is broke and stealing from his company, allegedly. Tree pays for everything, including the wedding. Well, I don't know if that is true. What I have heard rumors is in regards to, remember the new gift that he had bought for her, that car, that she had paid allegedly for it herself. So, and his company, he already told us what the company was on Watch What Happens Live, and we're all sort of like, okay. Mad World says, is Marge the bone collector of New Jersey? Wouldn't even consider this bone collecting, right? Would you consider it bone collecting? Because I don't feel like That is what bone collecting was, at least not with Sheree. She wasn't using the information to manipulate and or hold it over the group. She would actually bring the information and bring the information up on the show. She's not collecting it and keeping it in, for a rainy day. So for me, it's a little different. I don't know, y'all. I don't know how I feel about Marge lately. I don't know how I feel, but it can change this week. I don't, dislike her as much as last week's episode. Okay. Brianna, thank you so much for the super chat. Brianna says calling Jennifer a drug addict is a stretch. Yeah, I didn't like. It's more than a stretch. It's insulting. It's damaging. It's, you know what I mean? Because remember, I was like, why did she call her that? Is there something that we don't know? Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says Frank will be there to pick up the pieces when Paulie leaves Dolores. Paulie's never going to marry her, in my opinion, and Bill has checked out of his marriage. Damn, just tell it like it is, Julie. Wow. Obi, you've been a member for 16 months? Thank you. Guys, if you would like to become a member, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And for everything Kempire, head on over to TheKempire.com. Obi says, Melissa surprisingly is right, but I think she's purposely coming after Louis because he called her insecure. Of course. How would you feel if someone called you insecure and he said it on camera? Now she probably doesn't see it for him. Would you? Look, would you? Glimpse of Adira. Hey, what's going on? I'm glad you were able to call it alive as well. Ooh, T-Lady says Louis, a.k.a. the handler. Ooh. Y'all got me thinking things. I was really shocked when Melissa said that. I was just like, oh, I didn't expect that sort of put together. Okay. All right. What else did they talk about at this batting cages? I'll move on. Yeah. All right. I'll move on. So this charity baseball game. How did you guys feel about the charity baseball game? Do you feel like we should do this again next year? I mean, it's for charity, and I think that's amazing. However, I mean, for television purposes, I mean, I guess here's the thing. It brings attention to this charity, and maybe they raise money additionally once it's not on television. Like after this episode, maybe more money comes into the charity after. I mean, I'm here for that. Okay. Look. So everyone's arriving, everyone's coming in. We get some scenes. So I want to talk about this Marge and Danielle scene. So what I can appreciate a bit about Danielle, she does seem to have a mind of her own. What I love her confessional commentary, but in this moment, I wish she would have said what she was thinking in her confessional. When Marge is like, talking about the whole baseball player and encouraging Melissa to be with a baseball player. And she said, I was just doing that to encourage Melissa when they were going through a rough time. And Danielle says in her confessional, well, the way that I would take something like that, don't tell me about, if you're trying to uplift me, don't tell me about how I actually leave my husband. And a lot of women would agree with Danielle. I just wish Danielle said that to Margaret. And you could say that in a way that it doesn't have to cause a fight. And I know she likes Margaret. Is people scared of Margaret? Because she could have easily said to Margaret, I see what you're trying to say, but personally, if you said that to me, I wouldn't like that. That would bother me. I'd much rather in order for you to lift me up, I'd much rather you talk about my, my breasts or talk about my hair. You know what I mean? Just saying. I don't like when everything that's good about what Danielle is saying is in a confessional versus her saying it to the girls. And I don't think she's scared to say it to the girls. I just wish she would have said it to Margaret in that moment. But Margaret and them are really trying to, on both sides. Both sides are trying to get these newbies on their side. They're both doing that. But I have to say the newbies are, although they have chosen sides, but I feel like they're still not holding that against these other sides. You know what I mean? All right. And yes, Jackie was at the baseball game. She wasn't at the batting cage. We didn't get much of her then. We got her when she came in and they were looking at the calendars. That's the only thing that we got from Jackie. And then you remember Jackie was interviewed at this game by Page Six, and the rumor was out there already that she was a friend of. And she denied being a friend of at the game. She got more airtime on Page Six than on this show. Then we get this scene with the Gorgons coming in. This is probably the most that we've seen little Joey, right? This is probably the most we've seen of him on this show. Playing in the game, he's getting older. So the interaction between the cousins and, the uncles and aunts was a little awkward. It was a little awkward. Because although they denied that the cousins have any issues, you could tell very clearly that the cousins have issues. And of course, we get another confessional with Gia. I do have a Gia. We get another confessional with Gia. And I have to say this about this confessional with Gia. She's very telling. She's like telling on herself. Because although they've said, the cousins, we try to keep everything separate. That's what Antonia said. We try to keep everything separate, and we say, we try to, communicate on our own. Gia says that there is a rift, and she believes that there's a rift between the cousins is caused by Melissa and Joe. Now, of course, her mom is Teresa, so she's going to have bias. However, her saying that I wrote it down. She says that she wishes she could be closer to her cousins. And all of us last night when we were watching this on TikTok together, you're like, girl, you have a car. You're grown. You could reach out to your cousins. You could go pick up your cousins and say, let's go out for lunch. It's not like you're young. But I can understand the tension because always put yourself in their place when there's family issues. If you do put yourself in your place, you understand there could be a little tension, but you can still have your own separate relationships with your cousin, especially because you have your own car, you're an adult. She also says that, like I said, she says that she feels that Melissa and Joe are trying to put a wedge between her and the cousins. Honestly, based on what we've seen on the show, I don't know what's happening off the show between the families, but based on what we've seen on the show, it seems more like Teresa's causing a wedge than Melissa and Joe. Just what we've seen on the show. I don't know what's going on off the show, but you can go pick up your cousins. Teresa brings up the fact that Antonia did not come. Because remember, Antonia and Melania used to be really, really tight. But you saw what Melania said last week about, if your brother doesn't walk you down the aisle, then you're done with him. How do you think that her saying that on this show is affecting her relationship with Antonia, Joe's daughter? You know what I mean? And at no point does mom say, no, come on. I don't want you guys saying that about your uncle. I don't want this effect. You never see that happen. So I don't really believe, I do believe both sides play a part, but I really believe that it's more on this side. I think it's more on this side of, this side. Danielle, Danielle, you've been a member for 19 months. She says she's the elder of the cousins, so technically she's in control of the cousins. And like I said, look, even if she was younger, but she has the car, and you say you want to have a relationship with your cousins, then you make an effort. You make an effort. You could tell that Joey felt. You could see there was a rift. And all of them saying, oh, no, the cousins, we don't get involved in any of that stuff. You could tell there was a rift because it wasn't like, oh, hey, everybody, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so back to this. So Teresa brings up that Antonia did not go to Melania's Sweet 16. And Teresa was very upset by that. Apparently, Antonia had... what was a cheerleading event or something like that cheerleading event that we were talking about last season? But all of Joe's cousins, Judice, that side of the family, did go. Did the boys go? Did Antonia's brothers go? That was what first stood out to me. Did they go? Did anyone in the family go? Did Joe and Melissa go? That's my question. Do we know? Do we know if Joe and Melissa went to the Sweet 16 or showed up? Because if one kid can't go, that doesn't mean the boys can't go. That doesn't mean that Melissa and Joe can't go. Do we know? Lulu, do we know? Yeah, see, now we all noticed the awkwardness between Joey and his cousins. He didn't want to go over by them. So awkward. Which says more to me because you can believe the kids. Except because look, this kid you can't believe because she's no longer a kid. The kids you can believe. You just, I believe in his awkwardness. Hold on. Chocolate Chunk says, by the way, can we talk about how gorgeous Milani and Antonia are? They're growing up so nice. All of them are good looking. All of them are good looking. They're all growing up very nicely. Just saying. All right. We'll move on. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. We normally go live at 1 p.m. Eastern, but we had to push it back because I had another story that I had to cover. So be sure to check out that story in regards to Juan Dixon losing his good paying job over at Coppin State. And don't forget, I did a thing yesterday. Well, a thing came out yesterday with Behind the Velvet Rope. They are releasing clips of our conversation about all things Housewives, Bravo, content creation. Part 1 of my conversation with Behind the Velvet Rope is now available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, and clips, so you can see visual version of our conversation are coming out on Behind the Velvet Rope on YouTube. So go on over there, let them know Kempire sent you. Okay? All right. Let me take a sip. All right. Miss Bernice says they can still have a relationship, but Teresa's kids are going to defend their mother. You saw the way that they talk about their uncle and the way that they feel about Melissa. Okay. Nicole says all beautiful girls. Yeah, they're all like everyone look good looking and tan. Look and tan. All right. O Street says it's great interview. I love you and David. Long time. Thank you, O Street. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that correctly. Thank you so much, Mama Ali. Shout out to my King's Guards as well, guys. Don't forget to say hello to the King's Guards in the live chat. Shout out to the members of the channel. So many of you have been members for almost a year or 2 years. So thank you for your support. Appreciate you guys. Also, and speaking about podcasts, I did also collaborate with Grace Report talking about Vanderpump Rules in our new episode of Kempire Radio on your favorite podcast platform. So be sure to check that out. All right. Moving along. So at this baseball game, Rachel brings up what Jennifer's daughter Olivia said about being a therapist, a love therapist. And you can see, at first I thought Jennifer was going to lose it on Rachel for bringing it up. But then she was just like, oh. And I think I heard what she said exactly. I just feel like Jennifer at no point I get it. Why you'd be upset, the fact that Margaret brought this up on the show. Here we are. But that's not where this rooted issue is. Your rooted issue with what your daughter is feeling and going through and why she wants to be a love therapist has nothing to do with Margaret. Because although you believe, oh, she exposed it, it would have been exposed. First of all, Margaret already had hinted at this in the previous seasons. So that information would have come out at some point. But even if it didn't come out, you already holding, even though you say, oh, you forgot and you've forgiven. No, you were holding resentment about it. You never healed the cheating with Dr. Bill because you already even said it. He was silent and he's remained silent. And your relationship is not perfect. And no relationship is perfect. But if you, and this is what I learned from Oprah years ago. Hey, Oprah. Is that so many people prioritize children, raising their children over their relationship. And you really shouldn't be doing that because you don't realize when your relationship is not working and it's not healthy, it affects the children. So you're doing the opposite when it comes to trying to raise your children. We'll get back to Jen. So Rachel brings this up, and it all stood out to all of us last week when we saw her say that to Rachel. And we were like, oh my God, Olivia. Justice says she blames Bill for everything already. Well, we will revisit. SW says still Marge brought it up to hurt her, even if it would have come out. Yes, but at the end of the day, here's the thing. I know this is a reality show and this is your cast member, but at the end of the day, those kids and Bill are your real life. You're filming, 3 months out of the year? And when you're off of this show, you're not going to care about what happened on this show or these people. You're going to care about your children. You're going to care about if that's still your husband. So who cares about what's happening over there? Let me prioritize what's going on with my husband and my family. All right. Let me see you guys saying. Art World says Bill is not innocent. Did anyone say Bill was innocent? Danielle says, what relationship? You mean arrangement? What? Come on. Look, come on. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. We have over 1,000 people watching on Facebook and on Twitch, Twitter, and on TikTok. Thank you guys so much for being here for our Real Housewives of New Jersey recap. If you are a member of the channel, I am going to drop the call-in link on the community tab. So let me do that now before I forget, before I get through all the other things that I want to talk about. And don't forget, tomorrow, guys, we will be live recapping Vanderpump Rules. Of course, I'll be spilling some more of what I'm watching on season 3 of Vanderpump Rules and what I watched on season 2, which was such a good season. We'll talk more about that. All right, let me just drop the call-in link for Royal Court members and Senior Royals first. All right, and we will be taking callers tomorrow for Vanderpump Rules. I know last week we weren't able to, but this week we will be in studio, hopefully. Look, hopefully. All right. Okay, and for those that are in the live chat, let's get to 400 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link for you there. All right. Okay, Royal Court members and Senior Royals, I have dropped the call-in link for you. Team Kempire members, I'll be dropping the call-in link for you in just a second. All right? All right. Let me... Where was I? So they're at this baseball game. Again, what stood out to me in this moment, we get another conversation between Dolores and Frank talking about the different dynamics in their relationship now. And I don't know, I think they were being a little facetious with getting emotional. Frank says, I cried the other day. Did you guys believe that? Whoa, Frank, did you really cry the other day? I don't know. Do you really think that Frank cried the other day? And how would you, if you were his girlfriend, would you cry? Just saying. Let me take a sip. Monica says, I think Olivia has no clue what she wants to be when she grows up. Give me a break. Exactly in regards to Bill. I mean, last week we were talking about all the different things that we wanted to be when we were Olivia's age. So, I mean, it was kind of interesting that she pointed that out, but you don't know. I mean, you don't know. Wendy says, no, he didn't cry. When he said that, I mean, it was a little, not emotional, but it was a little like, oh, it's a different dynamic. It's something that he needs to get used to. Okay, Bill, get used to it. Get used to it. What else? Okay, so moving on from the baseball game, because we could talk about the baseball game, but yeah, who wants to talk about the baseball game? No one. But that was what stood out to me. For those of you, have you ever had the surgery? Anyone in the audience ever had the surgery that Paulie was having? What's the prep the day before? You know, certain surgeries you have to prep the day before, and I said maybe that's why he didn't come. I mean, I didn't expect him to play, especially if you're about to have heart surgery the next day. Just saying. So it made me wonder to myself. I was like, well, self, maybe he had prep to do, and that's why he couldn't come to support his girlfriend. I just find it interesting. Every time there's some sort of group event besides the calendar, there's some sort of excuse why he doesn't show up. Just saying. What else stood out to me? Where was Jen Fessler at the baseball game? Jennifer Aydin shading Joe's playing skills, and then them flashbacking to when Tiki Barber was there, who was, he's an athlete, so they had a really good team last season. I liked seeing Danielle being all sporty. She said, "I grew up in a neighborhood full of boys. I can play ball." I like that. I like her. I do like her. I'm still getting information on Danielle, but it seems like next week, very much like we've been saying, it doesn't make sense on her excuse on why her and her brother aren't speaking. So stay tuned. We'll see. I mean, it doesn't make sense to us, Danielle, why you and your brother aren't speaking. He didn't like your behavior on social media, and you blocked him, and that's why he stopped talking to you and uninvited you to the wedding. And now you guys haven't spoken in like 2-3 years. Okay, girl. Beyond Doodle says, depends on what time the surgery is. You can't have anything for at least 12 hours before, and that's water as well. Okay. That's why I said maybe. All right. Nia says he don't like them. That's what I'm kind of getting the feeling. I'm getting the feeling. Or maybe the check didn't clear. So the last scene that we get, because we had the baseball game, awkward, interaction between the cousins and what's going on there. But I have to say, when they were getting along in the locker room between Joe and Teresa, and they were looking at the calendar, I was like, I like this. I like it. I'm not one of those people that needs to have constant drama, especially this family drama between the Gorgas and Teresa. I really don't. Rifoli says, I block and unblock family all the time. Anyone else can relate? That's hilarious. Thank you, Tina. Tina says, I can't get into watching, so I hear from you all. A lot of you have been saying that. What has the ratings come out yet for the Real Housewives of New Jersey last night's episode? They've been somewhat down this season. A little bit. Not tremendously, but definitely down. Made in Asia, thank you so much for being a member for 16 months. Made in Asia says, we missed Tiki. Well, you know what? Let me bring Tiki back for you. Where's Tiki? Oh, here's Tiki. Remember Tiki? Remember when this lady came in? Then he looked back at it. Remember? Y'all miss Tiki? But he don't miss us. Libra also been a member for almost for 19 months. Frank needs to get over it with Dolores. Damn, y'all are rough, okay? Y'all are rough. Simply Starter says this season is boring. Wow. Hey, Storm. Storm says, Kempire, your reviews are oftentimes better than the show. Thank you. Look. Oh wait, I want to read this comment. Hold on. Let me find this comment. Hold on. Where'd it go? Oh, Nicole says, Paulie wants no part of the sister circle, and I do mean the men. I love his house too, Kempire. He has great taste for a man. I agree. I need a tour. Okay. Let me pull this down. Lee, thank you so much for the super chat. Lee says, can someone please bring up the multiple lawsuits the Gorgas and Marge have? This is reality TV, and no one else gets away with not talking about their stuff. Well, look at Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. What about Dorit? There's a few people on these shows that don't talk about their multiple lawsuits. Honestly, I would much prefer them to talk about that than the constant same thing. But for some reasons, for real legal reasons, sometimes it's just best that they don't, because it could jeopardize, and then anything that's happening on the show could be pulled into the lawsuit. So that might be why they're not bringing it up and their justification. The Phoenix Arisen. Aren't you watching on TikTok? Thank you for the super chat. She says, but who buys these calendars with these? Well, come on. In their defense, come on now. Come on now. Don't do them like that, Phoenix. I'm just going to show you the best ones, okay? I'm just saying. Somebody's buying them. I'm not. But somebody's buying them. Did anyone get one? I mean, if they were smart, they would have sent them out to the blogs or the people that review them. Just saying, and signed them. Shout out to Candy. Candy knows what she's doing. Just saying. Derby says, I block family all the time. They be getting on my nerves. Come on. Wow. I mean, I believe that. I believe that. Exactly. Just it's for charity. It is for charity. Oh my God. All right. Let's talk about this final scene. So we get this final scene with Jennifer, Aydin, and Dr. Bill with this therapist. We start off this episode with a therapist, and then we end this off with another therapist. And Jennifer talks about the dynamics in their relationship and about this affair that happened 11 years ago. And here's the thing. I feel for Jennifer, and I can see them not talking about this affair has affected her and has affected the children. And she talks about how the children found out about the affair, and Olivia apparently found out about it on TikTok. Look, I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of TikTok creators. I have can neither confirm or deny that I was the one. I don't remember. I don't remember if I even did a video talking about their affair. Probably. Look, leave me alone. This is my job. She's too young to be on TikTok. No, TikTok's for the young ones. So it's her, when they're fighting, Olivia reacts to this and she's like, say you love each other. Jennifer says that when she found out about the affair, he was silent. When she forgave him for the affair, he was silent. The therapist says, Bill, you're quite silent. Did you guys notice his face? He had a grin on. I don't know if that's just a nervous grin or something else. So, let me take a sip. I've been talking a lot. My throat. So, they unpack a lot of different things in this therapy session. But this is only one therapy session. And I'm glad the therapist said, well, of course she's going to say this. I think you guys should come back. You should make another appointment to talk about your dynamics, because Jennifer brings up that she feels like a subordinate to him, but she's like, no, I'm your equal partner. You're not around. And then when you do come around, you don't even tell me hello that I'm home. You're at the pool house. He's at the pool house. And I see a lot of your comments. A lot of you feel he might be cheating again. A lot of you feel that he's over Jennifer Aydin. I feel as if, and look, this is not unusual. A lot of people, a lot of cultures, a lot of relationships, they will prioritize raising their children and not talking about an affair or marital issues. And like, no, we're going to stay together for the children. And no one's saying that they should break up either, but they should have been in therapy a long time ago so that they could heal what went wrong in their relationship. But at least they're there now. I don't know if this is going to help. I don't know, because I don't think Jennifer Aydin is going to change. I don't know if Bill's going to change. Do you really believe that Bill went to therapy because of what she told him that Olivia said to Rachel? I didn't know if I believed that. Ooh, uh-oh. Jasmina says, it reminds me of the dinner with Lenny and Lisa. I mean, I hope not. I hope not. Oh my goodness. Art World says, Kempire, most of the comments are suggesting he leave her. Damn. I don't know. I think, look, they haven't tried therapy. Give therapy a try. I feel like they need to work on their relationship and then work on. And Jennifer, I know you've been saying like you just really sort of like give the kids what they want now because of this affair being exposed. That's not what you should do. What you should do is work on your relationship and show your children, be the example of, because they're going to learn from you on how to handle their relationships and marriages. So if you are ignoring and putting things under the rug, that's what they're going to do. And poor Olivia is sort of like, no, I don't want to do that. There's always the one kid in a family that's like, I'm going to do the complete opposite of how my parents did their marriage, because she realized that doesn't look like it works. Where's Gabby this season? We saw her a little bit, but I want to know her thoughts. Jennifer, are we going to get an episode of you and Gabby talking about this? Not that it's required, because I don't want to put Gabby on the spot, but I would want to hear her perspective. And they probably need family therapy if she's really concerned about her kids. Just saying. All right. If you are a member of the channel, I have dropped the call-in link for everyone. We are almost at 400 likes. Once we get to 400 likes, I will drop the call-in link for the general audience. If we don't, it's okay. But liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. So be sure to like and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. Here on the Kempire channel, we cover everything in reality TV, music, entertainment, sports sometimes. Go check out my video from earlier today. We're talking about sports. Juan Dixon, basketball. Just saying. I even wore a sports golf shirt. Just saying. All right. LV Rain says, I don't think Bill wants to be on the show. Let me make these a little larger so I can see what you guys are saying. Someone asked, do I ever cover Jersey Shore? I covered it a little bit yesterday. And for those of you that missed our Tuesday takeover, we talked a little bit about Jersey Shore with Sammy Sweetheart coming back. Be sure to check that out. I have added the timestamps, so thank you to Mama Allie for doing the timestamps. So head on over there. I did post the timestamps today. I should have done it yesterday, but I was busy. We had a breaking news story. Forgive me. Hold on. I'm losing my... Okay. Chocolate Chunk says, you give a man 5 kids and he cheats while you're pregnant? Goodbye, Bill. She was pregnant with her 4th child at the time. Just getting the facts together. O Street says, I agree, family. I mean, I think they need both. Honestly, I think Jen needs her own individual counseling. I think they need marriage counseling. Because I feel like... I mean, I don't think Dr. Bill's going to go to counseling. He could benefit from his own individual counseling as well. I just don't think he's going to do it. I think they need family counseling as well. All right. Some of you in the chat are a mess. Kay says, hold on. Kay says, Bill's uncomfortable about his transgressions being aired on TV. Well, then you are on the wrong platform, Bill. You are on the wrong platform. You are the wrong. I mean, what number season this is of them on the show? Next week, we're going to see. Here we go with Teresa. Oh, Lord, Teresa. Teresa just. I can't. We'll unpack it next week in regards to this whole situation, but they're going to go down by the shore. But Teresa's upset. Why didn't you guys invite me to stay with you and with Melissa? So now she's mad that she wasn't invited to stay at their shore house down there. Well, your fiance just called my wife insecure, and we're also not in the best place. I think it's probably for the best that we don't stay under the same roof. Don't you think? I mean, but like, it's one thing that we're working our way and we're trying to be amicable, but to be under the same roof, and if Margaret's also staying with me and you guys are in the best place, it's probably for the best that we don't stay under the same roof. But Teresa, always going to be like, stick with family. This is why, like, people are tired of the same thing on New Jersey. Producers, you really saved this season, because if you didn't bring in Rachel and Danielle and Jen Fessler, I think people really would have checked out. At least we have some new people in the situation to kind of mix things up a little bit. Thank God. Thank God. Because if we had to rely on jacking, I'm just saying, woo woo woo, Jackie, woo woo woo. Just saying. All right. Anyways, okay, we hit 400 likes. So I'm gonna drop the call in link, guys. Again, callers, please keep in mind no profanity. I am going to give you a time limit of 2 minutes so we can get to all the callers. I want to hear your thoughts, the most pressing thing that you want to talk about in regards to the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Replay crew, as always, I want to know how you'd rate this episode of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, your thoughts on some of the things that we've been saying in the live chat, the things that I've been saying, and what the callers will be saying. So please let us know your thoughts. And then I'm going to get out of here because I'm already feeling in my throat. I've been talking way too much already. All right. All right. Let's get to some callers. Let me close this because I have way too many things open. All right. Let me move this here. All right. In my opinion, backstage, we're going to bring her up first. In my opinion, how are you?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm doing well. Happy Wednesday. I was like, wait a second.
Happy Wednesday to you too. Let me tell you, okay, I have an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to explain my unpopular opinion to you.
Okay.
Okay, so if you notice, when Teresa, okay, first of all, not a Teresa apologist, okay? I feel like it's fault on both sides. Let me just start out by saying that.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like when Teresa called Joey over to her and he came over there and they were talking,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Judice felt so bothered by it that he called Joey back over there. Like, if you're trying to make a situation better, it would seem like you would do anything and everything to make the situation better.
Mm.
Like, I just haven't seen the level of I'm trying and she's not that they keep putting on.
Mm.
Like, I haven't seen neither side try as hard as they could to
Mm.
make the situation better. So I can't be on nobody's side. And as far as we liked it, Louis. Okay, you like Louis when Louis was just Teresa's boyfriend.
Mm.
But it seems like every time she's in a marriage, then that's when the problems come up. Because remember, he had a problem with Joe Judice.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it every time she's in a marriage, then you've bothered? Why is it that every time she's in a marriage, all of a sudden the person that you like, you don't like anymore?
Mm.
Now you could be friends with Joe Judice because she's not married to him.
Mm-hmm.
But all while you was married, he was a loser, he was a bum, he was this, he was that. And you're doing the same thing to Louis. All while they was dating, Louis was this guy that he was great. Oh, we liked him. You know, we thought he was good for her. But now that they're married, oh, Louis a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it always when she's happy that somehow that bothers y'all relationship?
Mm. Okay.
I just don't understand it.
All right. Anything else?
Well, then too, I want to say, I think Bill and Jen are trying to hold their marriage together,
Mm.
but I feel like her holding back is making their marriage strained even tighter on that little string. And if they don't get it together, that string is gonna pop, and she's gonna be out the door with half of his money.
Oh, not half of his money. Damn. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
Well, you know, he got all the money. She sit at home all day. She told you already, and she got 4 kids by him, so he got to keep on that lifestyle she accustomed to.
Mm-mm-mm.
Sad, sad, sad.
A mess. All
Have
right.
a great day, Kempire.
You too. Take care. Wow. All right. Hold on. Did I? Oh wait. Let me. Kathy says Bill is checking out from Jennifer. The eye roll, sighing, and going to the pool house instead of seeing her when he comes home. David Yontif got the scoop on New Jersey. It was more than one woman. Ooh. I should have asked him that when I was on Behind the Velvet Rope. It was more than one woman back in the day. Is there a woman now? Okay, let me. Okay, look. All right. Stay tuned. Crystal, I'm gonna bring you up next. What's going on, Crystal?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Happy day.
You too. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited. Every time I get a chance to do this is so much fun. Anyway,
Love that.
Okay, so I got my 2 minutes. Okay, so the first thing is I love the costume changes. I always love a diverse, closet. So please continue to change your outfits.
Oh.
I was like, yes, we're doing like the t-shirt today. It was like a T on it, and then now we're doing. I was like, yes, without costume changes, let's do it. Okay. The second thing is okay. So Dolores and Frank, their spouses are going to destroy them being on this show because think about it, like if their spouses had personality like they do, well, really not really Dolores, but she got Frank, so it works. If their spouses had some more personality and were likable, like they would be sealed. Like it could be this, diving into these two people who used to be married who have the strong bond and the spouses have their personality. Like it could have really been something big, but we
Hmm.
don't ever hear about that girlfriend. He keep her in the closet and he bring her out to show sometimes. And then we do, and then we got Paulie, which I have no comment about him. I can't really tell who he is every time he comes out. Like
Hmm.
nope, I really don't have a bad things to say about him, but he's just there. But I'm happy she's happy. Um the next thing, Danielle. So you could tell this is Danielle trying to find her footing. I think she wanted this so bad, but I think when it started, I think that's why she's not being like confrontational or saying how she really feels
Hmm.
because she doesn't know how it's all going to play out. And
Hmm.
it's her first time. Like, even last night on Watch What Happens Live, we didn't see all of that bubbly coming out last night.
I think it's
It was a
watch
little,
it yet.
yeah, it was a little bit reserved a little bit. She like when she got her moment to talk, she got into it a little bit more, but it was a little bit reserved. So you could tell she's nervous. So I
Hmm.
think once this season plays out and we get to a reunion, she'll be in her groove. Tag
Hmm.
now, 2 minutes went by fast. Okay.
Well, Crystal, we appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
Take
See you
care.
later.
Bye.
Bye.
That's interesting. I wish I had gotten a chance to, but I was busy before this. All right. I wish I had gotten a chance to see her on Watch What Happens Live. But again, this is her first time doing that, first time being on a show like Watch What Happens Live, first time being on reality TV in this way. Of course, she did I'm a Staten Island Girl years ago, and she's wanted this for a very long time. So that's interesting. Star, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Star?
Hey, Kempire, thank you for letting me come up.
Of
I love
course.
the show. So I'm gonna make this quick because I know I only have 2 minutes. So I'll start with the stuff that I didn't really care for. So the new cast is pretty dope. I like Rachel. I love Jen Fessler. I love the way that she's keeping folks accountable. And I love the way, although this was last episode, I love the way she kicked Jen out of her house and she allowed her friend to stay there because that is Margaret is her friend.
Yeah.
So I do love that. And next, Danielle, she's giving fake to me. I do love her daughter though. So I feel like there's going to be a lot more to come. I feel like even with the party, I feel like she does a lot, and I also feel like she's going to do a lot to stay on the show.
Hmm. Okay.
Let's see, Teresa and Joe. I'm so tired of this storyline, but what I do feel like is that with these kids, yes, her. With the kids of hers, there's a saying in the black household, stay out of grown folks' business. Her kids should not be allowed to speak on her brother and the dynamics of their relationship. I feel like they do way too much. Gia lied and said that Melissa didn't come to speak to her, or it was the other daughter, but they lied about it, and I think that's just wrong, point blank and period. I think they need to stay in a kid's place, just period. I also think that Teresa has never really defended her brother, how she let Jan like call him a b-boy,
Hmm.
and even how she just never defends him in anything. She sat in counseling and lied, trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm so scared of my brother when he gets upset. But Teresa, you have that same anger. What are you talking about? You guys do the same thing. And it was the caller who just called in the first caller. She said something about him not liking the other husband, which was warranted, and him not liking Louis. He is her brother. That is what a brother is supposed to do. Is okay. That's my time. But thank you,
Thank you,
Kempire.
Star. Take care.
You too.
And reminder, guys, everyone's opinion matters here on the channel as long as you share it in a respectful way. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with the calls. You don't have to agree with other people in the comment section, but you can disagree in a professional, kind, respectful way. Okay? So keep that in mind, replay crew, and those of you in the live chat. All right. All right, BM Rants, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, BM?
Hey, Kempire.
How are
I
you?
saw you on the David. I saw you there. You looked so cute there. I saw
Thank
you.
you.
I just want to talk about my girl Jen. I'm loving her like her realness this season. I love when she said, "I'm a mom, but I smoke weed at night." Same girl, same. Because these kids ain't easy, and especially I feel her so much, especially when you're living in a two-parent household and you are the only one feeling like everything is only on you, and then you have your husband coming home just like button heads because he doesn't like the way you've been taking care of it. It's frustrating sometimes. It really is, and I could completely understand her on that.
Yeah.
um I feel like Rachel's being so messy this season. Like she is just coming right into it. Everything that she's saying to Jen, she's coming back to Rachel. I mean to Melissa and Margaret. To then, I just feel like back and forth for me from Rachel, and like Joe pulled away little Joey twice when Teresa was trying to talk to him. So like to me it kind of felt like Joe is the one that's not really trying to engage, trying to be at least peaceful because they could keep it on a surface level like have they done on that scene right there when they're all looking at the calendar.
Mm.
Very surface, very hi, how are you? Oh my god, the kids, that's it. And leave it like that. But to be like, oh little Joey come here, I felt like that was little like and Teresa's like, all right, like but thank you, Campfire. I
Thank
love
you. Have a
you.
great day.
You too.
Bye. All right. Let's do this. Guys, you're just joining us. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. We are taking some callers. I'm going to bring up San next. Hold on. San, what's going on? San, you're muted. San, are you there? Are you there, San?
Hey, can you hear me?
Now I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you today?
Not bad. How are you?
Good. I'm sorry I missed you last week. I know I was, trying to get it in while I'm at work. But Bravo does need to pay you because I used to watch reviews only. Only for Atlanta. And then you put me on New Jersey. And then you put me onto the SWV Escape Show. And I put my friends on. And then my boyfriend's standing in the corner, like, just watching the side. And he's like chiming in. I'm like, Kempire, you did that. You really did that.
Thank you.
So thank you for that. And they do need to cut you a check.
Oh.
But, regarding what is the New Jersey, did you know that Doris' dog's name is Dog? Or was I tripping when I saw
Wait,
that?
whose dog?
Dolores, when she was walking her dog out with her dad, I'm pretty sure the title said Dog. Dolores' dog.
Oh.
I might be tripping, but that was pretty funny. I caught that. And Jen was a bit annoying to me, and I have caught up on New Jersey in the last 2 years. But I've always found her annoying. But her just being raw this season, I'm really liking her. And poor Olivia, it might be me like projecting my own issues, but I was that child who was seeing my parents' interactions. And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to get married. This is not what I want for my future. And then it took a lot of work and, therapy and stuff. So now I'm ready to get married. But it's like seeing your parents go through that, it is traumatic. And she might just be going on like a 10 or 11-year-old. I don't know. They all have these, they change career dreams every other week. But I did feel her, and I'm glad the newbie did bring it up to Jen. That was really sweet of her. And then, yeah, that's it, I guess. But thank you for everything you're doing. Love the program.
Thank you so much, Sam. Take care.
You too.
All right, we're gonna get to some more calls, guys. When you come on in to the chat, don't forget to like the video. We are taking callers right now talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. We're live on YouTube. Kempire, for those that are watching on TikTok, be sure to follow us on YouTube if you haven't already. Also, we are live on Facebook, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook as well. All right, we're going to bring up Miss Bernice next. We got a couple. We have like 3 more callers after that. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Miss Bernice.
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. Okay, let me get my 2 minutes in.
Mm.
Starting off with Jennifer and Bill. Jennifer's complaining that therapy session was fake because the first thing in therapy session, you got to figure out what exactly is the problem. She didn't give them any homework assignment to deal with, so they can come back to the session next time and we can discuss this. I don't care. She could have said, okay, here's a paper. Jennifer, you write down the things that you love about your husband, and you write on the other side, you write the things that you don't like about your husband. And the same thing for Bill, so they can really think about what exactly was the breakdown of their marriage. It wasn't all about the affair. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And to Teresa and Joe, for those girls and Teresa to be given this narrative that it's all on Joe and Melissa's why they treat it like that is totally wrong. It takes 2 to have an argument. Kids shouldn't be. I'm sorry, the oldest girl may be 21, but when I'm talking and kids is in the room, y'all got to go. You got to go. No. When we're talking about adult situations, there are no children. I don't care if you're 21, 22, you're out of my presence. Because that's between me and that person, me and my brother, me and my uncle, whoever it is, that's between us 2. You don't have no chiming on it because you are not my equal. And that's what Teresa's problem is. She'd have made her daughters her equal, and they feel that they can comment on anything else about her life when they don't know.
Okay.
No. Danielle, I love her. She was kind of holding her emotions in when she was on Watch What Happens Live. That's the only reason I looked at it. But other than that, I like the newbies. Teresa and them is full of crap. March need an exorcism.
Not an exorcism. Come on.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because that's a whole nother subject. We can do a show on March. But I'll let you go to the next people. Love you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.
This Bernice was not playing. She said it's fake. I was like, oh, I didn't just come right out the box. All right. Say Pep, I'm gonna bring you up next. What's going on? Sharon?
Yes, me.
Hey, Sharon.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing fine. Hey, I just got one comment. You know that girl Rachel?
Yes, Huda.
She does have a bad nose job.
Come on. Let's not talk about people's bodies.
She does. I don't talk about people's bodies, but when they did a sideways part of her, I saw her nose. And I'm like, oh, that is bad. Because remember, Jennifer was gonna talk to her about her nose, her bad nose
about their
job,
bad nose
and her
jobs,
bad nose job. Yeah, and I'm like, her nose doesn't look bad, but then she did a side profile, and that was kind of messed up.
Nose jobs, you got to be very careful getting your nose done.
I know. That's why I will never, ever have plastic surgery done. Never.
Okay, no promises over here. No, look. Never say never.
And what time are you coming on Thursday?
Oh, I haven't decided. Probably like 5 p.m. Eastern, if not 5:30 p.m. Eastern to do Vanderpump Rules.
Okay, good, because the basketball games start Thursday. It's March
College
Madness.
basketball? It's college basketball, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Note to self.
All right. I'll see you Thursday.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Sharon is our sports commentary. She keeps me up on, things that are sports related. Damn, they fired Juan Dixon in the middle of March Madness? Wait a sec. Wait. Oh damn, I should have asked Sharon. Can someone in the chat tell me, is Coppin State currently playing? Or they didn't make it that far? Let me get my own time limit. All right. Suzette, I'm gonna bring you up next. What's going on, Suzette?
Hi, Kempire. I'm a little nervous. It's my first time live.
It's
but
okay.
Walk me through. Just have to. I noticed, this is never going to end with Teresa and her brother.
Yeah.
They keep focusing. Teresa is absolutely comfortable screaming at Melissa, yelling at everybody else. Joe is fine, pounding his fists at Louis and the table and all that stuff. They need to lock those two in a room alone and make them focus on each other. Like Louis tried over the phone. They had nothing to say. They couldn't even speak to each other. Hi, love you. They couldn't be mad. And the other thing I predict, and then I'll go, is the new girl Danielle, I think. She's really pretty, Barbie looking, the Barbie party.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, this time, she will have some work done. I guarantee you. She's going to ask around with the ladies who's the best.
I hope
That
not.
chin and the nose will be refined. I guarantee you. And she'll be even prettier. Thank you.
Thanks.
Love you.
Thank you, Suzette. Take care. I mean, that's not unusual. Unfortunately, when these people that have never been on reality TV before come on reality TV and then people are making all kinds of comments about their looks and things like that, they do end up getting stuff done. And being in this group of ladies, she probably will get something done. All right, Mocha's backstage. We're going to bring Mocha up next. What's going on, Mocha?
Hi, Kempire. Hi, chat.
Hey.
So, I'm so over the, Joe and Teresa of it all.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I want to know what's left on the cutting room floor.
Mm.
What are we missing? Because, there's her story, his story, and the truth. Let's be real. There's this big chunk that we're all missing. And it's easy to say, the kids shouldn't say this and that, which is true for a lot of us who've grown up, you stay in your corner and you don't listen to the adults.
Mm-hmm.
But when Gia said, oh, yeah, it all changed, and I remember you saying that, she said it all changed as soon as Louis came around. It's okay, but at the same time, for Gia as the adult of all her siblings and cousins, and they're all trying to stick together, why isn't she, going out of her way to, catch up with her cousins?
Yeah.
Maybe she is, we don't know, but, that's what I mean. A lot of it just seems too much. Because, we've all got situations where we go through stages where we dislike our siblings.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone's had that sibling that you're I want to choke because
I don't know about all that, Mocha.
That you don't, as a person, if they weren't your sibling, you wouldn't like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some siblings just do those things that rub everyone the wrong way. And I'm really interested to see how much is left on the floor because, watching him call over his son, part of me felt like maybe he was trying to protect him. He didn't want, the intertwining of the mess. We keep seeing that their kids don't seem to know much of what's going on.
Yeah.
As far as his relationship with Teresa, but the other kids know a lot. And Teresa talks to the girls a lot more. But in saying that, I think that could be more because Teresa only had the girls to talk to. She couldn't really rely on Joe.
Good point.
As a husband. So, yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what's been left. But thank you, as always, Kempire.
Thank you, Mocha.
I hope you're doing well.
I am, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you, Mocha, and hopefully we'll be able to take callers tomorrow because I know you called in the other day when we were doing Vanderpump
Hopefully
Rules.
I'll be awake for tomorrow.
What time is that normally for you guys? Because I'm doing it earlier than last week.
Well, when you did it last week, it was 8:30 a.m. here.
Oh, so
it was perfect timing for me.
Yeah, this is going to be a little earlier.
Hopefully I'll be up. But yeah, thank you. And hello to everyone in the chat. Can I just say to the Kingsguard, you guys do an amazing job.
They do.
And it's well appreciated by the whole group, I'm sure. So thank you. Bye.
Definitely. Thank you, Mocha. Take care. Yeah, shout out to our King's Guards. I do not take that for granted, y'all. And that's one of the most resounding things that we also get in the comment section in the live chat is how great our moderators are and how they create this environment of welcomeness and just where people are able to share their opinions openly and freely, but still feel safe in sharing those opinions. So shout out to the King's Guards. We appreciate them. All right, I'm going to round this out. Next week's episode, they're going down to the shore. Maybe it'll be better. Let me see what you guys said in regards to the poll. So based on the poll, Ooh, it's a tie. So the poll with like 730 something votes, you guys voted 45% each between 7 and 10 you rated this episode and 4 and 6 you rated this episode. Both equally. 45% each. Damn. Look, damn. It's not bad, but it's not great. And as I said to you before, thankfully, the producers brought in Danielle and I was about to say Rachel, right? Rachel Fuda. Brought them in just to sort of like mix it up a little bit. And they will be mixing it up again. So it's going to be Jackie versus Danielle next week. It might be a much needed break from the whole Gorga and Teresa situation. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Thank you all for calling in. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. I'm not done. I do have some saved comments that I wanted to bring up. Sabi, thank you so much for the super chat. Sabi says, currently cooking chapati and Swahili pilau, listening to my favorite YouTuber. I am blessed. Ooh. So you're trying to make me hungry, Sabi. I'm like, wait, first of all, what's chapati? And Swahili pilau. I know what pilau is because in Trinidadians, they have something called pilau. I wonder if it's the same thing. Let me know. Asha, thank you so much for the super chat. Asha says, if Olivia is on TikTok, so are the Gorgas kids. Good point. I mean, all of them are on social media at this point. The youngest is Joey, right? No, not Joey. It's not Gabriella. Is it Gabriella? I can't keep up with these people's names. Thank you. Ask says Coppin State lost to Norfolk State last week in the. Oh, this happened last week, and then they let him go. They waited till the season was over for them. So I think the guy's ball season is done. Oh no, Joey is not the youngest. I mean, of all the cousins, I think Gabriella is. But wow, damn. Oh, thank you. Yazim says chapati is a kind of like roti. All right. Wow. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Frank needs to let Dolores live her own life. Randomly, Ronnie says Melissa Gorga is a star. Adriana is the youngest. All right. Not that it matters. But I appreciate us figuring it out. Anyways, guys, thank you to everyone that sent in the super chat. Shout out to our King's Guards. We could not do this without you. Shout out to our members of the channel. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And shout out to all of you guys. I see the Cash Apps, Venmos, PayPals after the live. Thank you in advance for supporting the channel any way that you can. But you can support the channel by watching our videos to the end, liking the videos, commenting on the videos, and sharing the videos. All of those things matter. So think about that. Even if it's a video you don't necessarily want to watch, just play it on in the background. Like it. Share a thought in the comment section. We appreciate you guys. And of course, sharing is caring. So share me with your friends and family. All right? Thank you. All right, let's get out of here, guys, with some music. Thank you again, thank you all for being here. Tomorrow we will be doing our Vanderpump Rules recap of tonight's episode, but I'll also be talking about some of season 2 and season 3 that I've been watching. So it will be a mix. And of course, talking about any of the latest news that's going on in the Vanderpump Rules world. So on that note, I'm going to get out of here and go watch some of the episodes. Talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all.
cool.